So as this gentleman entered the NHL with high hopes for a great future, one of the players that was high on the Toronto Maple Leafs scouting list in the 1970s, but he never really panned out, and we really don't know why, because he had some success later on in his NHL career, but didn't reach the heights that were predicted when he came out of the WCHL as one of its top players in the mid-1970s. So we're going to talk today about the curious case of Don Ashby. Now, Don Ashby, center, 6'1", 185, came to major prominence in the BCHL with the Kamloops Rockets for a couple of campaigns and ended up with the Calgary Centennials of the WCHL. His third season with Calgary was his best. His draft year with 52 goals and 120 points in 70 games. And this allowed Toronto to take a high chance on him, drafting him 6th overall with their first rounder. And he was also taken 3rd overall by the Michigan Stags that season, again in the first round. Now, he was sent to the minors for seasoning, but eventually found his way to the big club with 50 games with Toronto with 6 goals and 15 assists for 21 points. Now, 77, a little better results, 42 points in 76 games, including 19 goals, and also helped the squad with one playoff goal against in their playoff run, which allowed him to play the Flyers in a quarterfinal round. Now, he was sent to Dallas for seasoning for most of the 78 season, but only saw sparing duty with Toronto in 78 with 3 points in 12 games. Now, by 79, he was eventually moved on to Colorado, but did have enough time to spend 13 games with the Brunswick Hawks with 2 goals and 5 assists in 2 goals and 5 assists for 7 points in 13 games. 80 in Colorado, only played 1 game, but eventually found his way to the Fort Worth Texans for 27 goals and 54 points. Now, he did find his way to Edmonton, and on that Gretzky team, he really started to show heavy promise. He scored 19 points in 18 games in a late season acquisition, including 10 goals. And although he didn't do much in the playoffs, a lot of people said, the future of this guy was finally getting to be bright. Next season didn't pay out, unfortunately, as he played majority of the season with the Wichita Wind of the CHL, where he scored 36 goals. And he only had 2 goals in 6 games with Edmonton. Now, they say when people are born in Kamloops, they're some of the best athletes that the league had ever, that the community, the province of BC had ever put together. Now, unfortunately, his career didn't pan out, and his life didn't pan out, unfortunately. A few days after the finishing the 81 season, where there was still promise of his career, he and his wife, Terry, were involved in an automobile accident in Okanagan Valley. Now, the vehicle that were driving was hit head-on by a pickup truck, and Ashby died a few hours later from massive internal injuries in the hospital in Kelowna. Now, his passing was regretted by many, many people, because we felt that he's still a young man. At 26, he had a strong pro career ahead of him, and I think he would have done well, because he was starting to get back his scoring. And no surprise with Wichita scoring 36 goals, getting 96 points, and 25 points in the playoffs. A lot of the Oiler fans and other fans in the NHL said maybe this can be his comeback year for 81-82, but it was just unfortunate that things didn't work out. But Don Ashby, for me, not say his career was a failure, but it was kind of ironic to see any player come from Calgary and the BCHL leagues. It takes a while for seasoning, almost like a goaltender out of the queue. You have to relearn the big game, because if you ever watch a WCHL or a BCHL contest, very wide open. But I think just with Toronto, playing time was an issue too. But like I said, those 42 points in 1977 was just a teaser. Like I said, they needed someone like Ashby to score 20 goals in the third or fourth line. But things don't happen the way it should sometimes. And he wasn't a good fit for Colorado, because Colorado was losing every game 6-3 or 6-2. And but his minor league stats were impressive. And for me, when I used to watch him, I said maybe he's going to break through this time. And again, I look at those 10 goals in Edmonton in those 18 games, and seeing how happy he was and playing with all the early Gretzky Oilers. You know, it's sad, but like I said, 40 years later, we're still talking about him because the man had talent, the man had places to go, and just unfortunate it was not meant to be. But NHL totals 188 games, 40 goals, 56 assists, 96 points, and the CHL totals point a game pace, 216 points in 192 games, 87 goals. So that's the life of Don Ashby, and rest in peace, and condolences again to his friends or family might be listening, because we wanted a lot for him, because I heard from many people he was a very jovial guy, very down to earth, and it's sad to see someone not giving a third chance for the NHL, because with talent like his, there was always a chance he could come back. I think in the bigger NHL of now, he would score easily 15 to 20 goals in the third line of some of the big teams. But even in the 18-team league back then, there was a lot of pressure. People were getting your job. There was players in the AHL that were better than the NHL players. But I don't think he was favored by many people. Sort of like, a fourth line afterthought. But, it's the way it goes. Thanks for listening. Bye.